Well, hello! Welcome to Super Start Select, the video game show of champions. I'm Guy and this is Jane.
And if you're watching this as it comes hot off the internet press on Saturday, August 13th, it's but one day until we load up the GameSpot UK wagon and hit the trail to Cologne for European mega show Gamescom.
For which we are very excited. Find out why in just a moment when we bring you the fun for reasons we love Gamescom.
We'll also have a Bodycount boot camp in which we teach you how not to die and maybe also kill some guys in the soon-to-be-released arcadey shooter.
Also comments, your lovely, lovely comments. Don't touch that dial. Gamescom is the German equivalent of E3, which means more beer, more cured meats, and more strange German real-time strategy games than you can shake a very big stick at. As the 2011 show prepares to get underway next week, join GameSpot UK for our beginner's guide to the biggest game show on earth. Let's Gamescom!
Gamescom is a public show with over 250,000 visitors, which makes it the single biggest gaming event in the world. More important than the sheer number of visitors, though, is the atmosphere the crowds produce. And we don't mean the sweaty heat haze, but instead the excited buzz of so many thousands of game fans gathered in one place with the games of tomorrow.
Fallout, obviously. There's, of course, WoW going on. And, well, I want to see Valve around. I'm not sure they're here today. I want to ask them why Half-Life 3 is taking so freaking long to come out, right?
It's the antithesis of an industry event like E3, where journalists, analysts, and business people all compete over who can be the most jaded. At Gamescom, every visitor is excited to be there, whether they're seeing the new Call of Duty or a new PC RPG that'll only ever see the light of day in Germany.
As well as being a game show, Gamescom has a games culture fringe element with loads of activities and community stuff. There's a music festival that runs on the weekend, a retro gaming exhibition, a case modding championship, a beach and a soccer park. There's even a campsite if you want the complete games festival experience. Cheap cider is optional.
Sony and EA make a huge deal out of Gamescom. Games and hardware such as the PlayStation 3 Slim, Resistance 3 and Mass Effect 2 on PlayStation 3 were all announced at Gamescom over the last couple of years. This year is no different. Both companies have press conferences that GameSpot UK will be attending on Tuesday, where we're expecting news of the PlayStation Vita from Sony and a couple of new games from EA.
Gamescom takes place in the historical city of Cologne, where many delights await the culinarily adventurous. GameSpot has encountered such treats as currywurst and pork knuckle during its time at the German trade show, as well as Kolsch, the delightful local beer.
A couple of days before Gamescom, the great and the good of the gaming world get together for the Game Developers Conference Europe. Now, GDC Europe is a kind of developer-focused Gamescom prologue at which industry bods chew over games industry topics and what they're working on. Last year, for instance, we had the announcement of Red Faction Battlegrounds and a Heavy Rain post-mortem with Monsieur David Cage. This year we've got Epic's Mike Capps, Crytek's Sebat Yearly, and game designer slash amateur astronaut Richard Garriott to look forward to.
These are some of the reasons we're psyched about packing up and shipping off to Cologne, but what about you? Which upcoming games can't you wait to see more of at Gamescom? Hit us up in the comments below or on our Facebook page, and also let us know if you're actually coming to the show. And of course, catch all the Gamescom coverage next week, including daily videos and the GameSpot UK podcast, by heading to gamescom.gamespot.com.
Pop quiz hotshot, you're an agent for the network. You're under heavy fire, pinned down on enemy turf, and your destructible cover is shredding rapidly. What do you do?
Find out exactly what you should do in our Bodycount bootcamp with essential lessons for Codemasters Dapper FPS.
From the studio who brought Black to the Xbox and PS2 back in 2006 comes arcadey shooter Bodycount. Full to the brim with intense firefights, destructible environments, earth-shattering explosions, and of course, guns. Combat in Bodycount is fast-paced and frantic, and if you go about it the wrong way, you'll be seeing a lot of this. The game comes out around the end of the month, so to help you hit the ground running, we've put together some combat lessons. Welcome to Bodycount Boot Camp. Staying put behind cover and picking off enemies will not serve you especially well in Bodycount. Bad guys put you under constant pressure, chuck grenades, and even rush right up in your face for some close quarters action. So the best way to stay alive is to be light on your feet, running and gunning from cover to cover. Speaking of cover, bullets, explosives, and even knives cut through the environment in Bodycount. While this allows for some awesome just headshot that guy through the wall moments, shredding, as the developers have dubbed it, can also be your downfall. Under sustained fire, your beloved cover will crumble before your eyes, and then your eyes will get shot out of your face, so watch out for that, yeah? Cover leaning is a great way to peek around obstacles to take down the enemy. Just squeeze the left trigger to plant yourself on the spot and enter cover leaning mode. Now use the left stick to lean side to side and find the angle for that killing shot. Practice makes perfect with this novel mechanic, and remember, while the left trigger is down, strafing is not an option. When putting together your loadout, choose your weapons wisely. Ensure you take one long range for those surprise headshots, and one close range for when it all just gets a bit much. Grenades and mines come in handy for bosses and groups of enemies. Oh, and use the shotgun. A lot. It's awesome. Seriously. Dispatching enemies will give you intel points to spend on using an array of combat extras. A jab of the D-pad can give you adrenaline, a short period of invincibility, target pulse wave, which highlights the guys who need to be shot in the face, explosive bullets, which do exactly what they say on the shell casing, and WMD airstrike, which, yeah, that. Stylish kills do more than simply make you feel badass. Headshots, shooting through cover, silent combat, and environmental kills all reward you with bonus intel to spend on doing more of this, and definitely some of this. This handy number up here tells you how many skill kills you've chained together. The bigger the number, the more awesome you are. This doesn't technically help you survive, but it does give you a brag-worthy score at the end of the mission. So that was your 7-step primer to get you started in Cody's new shooter. Learn these lessons well, and come September 2nd, you'll be racking up one heck of a body count.
Much like video games themselves, we are all about interactivity.
You push our buttons with your comments and pull our triggers with your tweets and wiggle our little analog sticks with your Facebook likes.
Right, and we interact like so, immortalising some of the best of your comments right here. Of Assassin's Creed Revelations, as seen in last week's show, Laughin' Boy says, "The tune for the trailer gives me goosebumps. It sets the mood of the game nicely, brutal, moody and a little on edge. It's called Iron by Woodkid, by the way. Looking forward to playing the new AC, and I'll judge after I've played it."
Then of Monday's Start Select, in which we heard how Battlefield 3 won't be available for download over Steam, Tycho_X says, "Dang, another game I won't buy despite being interested in it. Publishers, if your game isn't on Steam, I won't buy it." Though Johnny Way 123 counters, if people don't buy Battlefield 3 because it's not on Steam, then they are stupid. Deciding whether to buy a game should never be based on where you have to buy it from. Clearly you can't have that much interest in Battlefield 3 if something like this stops you from buying it.
And for Tuesday's Start Select, FF7 Nation wrote in on the topic of Twisted Metal, whose release date has slipped into early next year. He or she says, "Gotta love how people think polishing and making a game as good as it can be is bad. Granted, I'm sure the release date thing has a little factor in the delay. It is still acceptable by me. Twisted Metal is one of the best gaming series in the business. If we were to get a 3/4 done project and then get slammed with patches and DLC, do you all really want that?"
Fair point, FF7 Nation, fair point. You can weigh in on this and whatever else in the comments on the Start Select page or over on Twitter, on which we're at GameSpot UK. You can also tell us what's in your head over on the Facebook page. That's facebook.com/GameSpot UK.
That's all for now, GameSpotters. We're off to pile all our gear into the GS UK party wagon, ready for trundling off to Gamescom in Germany.
Again, just as a reminder, next week you can catch all the news, previews, videos and GameSpot podcasts coming out of Cologne over at gamescom.gamespot.com. Auf Wiedersehen.